What up, y'all? Y'all back on with King Los and Los Legends. How's everybody doing this morning? I hope everybody's good. I hope everybody had a good night's sleep and is up getting your hustle on. Feel me? I just I wanted to talk a little bit about people that are coming straight out of rehab, jail, and off the streets and stuff like that. We're very emotionally vulnerable, and we're very emotionally detached from reality. We think that we have everything figured out because we spent, 30 days in rehab, or, a couple months or a couple years in jail or in prison. And to be honest, I think one of the biggest mistakes you can possibly make is getting into a relationship right after you get out of one of these places, because like I said, you're very emotionally unstable. That being said, I think once everybody starts working on themselves a little bit more, you can really find a great relationship. You can find somebody that's going to love you, somebody that's going to match your energy, somebody that's going to match your vibes, somebody that's going to put out the same thing. It's a reflection thing. I know that you guys have probably heard about the mirroring. When you mirror each other and you're both in positive vibes and positive energy, then things start happening for that couple. Things start happening for those people. And it's a very, very good thing. It's a very positive thing. Another big thing is self-care and self-love. Self-maintenance, taking care of yourself, taking care of who you are, taking care of your own spirit, your own heart, your own your personality, your hygiene, of course. Self-love and self-care is a huge, huge thing. It's something that once you get it all figured out, you have to love yourself. You have to love yourself, because if you don't love yourself, you won't love anybody else truly and honestly and wholeheartedly. You can really destroy somebody by thinking that you love that person when maybe you do care about them. Maybe you do want the best for that person, but you don't know exactly how to how do I say, love yourself. I know for a long time I didn't love myself. I didn't care about myself. I didn't care about what happened to me. There's been multiple times in my past that I just thought that I couldn't take it anymore, and I thought about taking my own life. I took a bunch of pills one time, trying to kill myself. I couldn't even do that right. All I did was just stay fucked up for like a week or two or something. I can't even remember, but God just didn't want me to go anywhere. It wasn't my time, so he was like, yeah, nah, you ain't checking out right now, player. I put a gun in my mouth multiple times, thought about pulling the trigger. I was about to commit suicide, because at a certain point in my life, I just thought that nobody needed me anymore. I thought that everybody would just be better off without me around. And some people might still think that way. Some people might still have a lot of anger towards me, or hurt towards me, or resentment towards me, and I totally understand. I wasn't the best person. I hurt people. I broke their heart. I didn't know how to love myself, so I would sit there and we would abuse each other mentally, physically, and emotionally. and just tear each other down, and I would tear people down and they would tear me down, and it was just an unending cycle of just hatred and just self-loathing and just not wanting to be me, you know. If you get to that point in a relationship where at first all it was is just, you know, just hooking up and meeting and, you know, being happy that you see that person, just if you just doing it to hook up and to fuck and to do stuff like that, you know what I mean, it's not hardly ever gonna turn into anything good, you know what I mean. That's a lot of toxic relationships end up. That's how my last few relationships were. I really cared about people, but I didn't know how to love myself, so I couldn't love them. I said I love you. I said, you know, I can't live without you. I said, you know, this and that. But the more I just tried to be affectionate, it just wouldn't come out 100%. It was always just, you know, well, where do we go from here, and what do we do now? And some of my relationships, we were best friends before, and took that leap, you know, thinking that we were ready to do something right, and it was just totally a mess, man. It ruined the whole relationship. So we got to know each other, got married, and this wasn't just once, this was a few different times. Got to know each other, got married, blew up. Now we're back to strangers. Now we're back to, okay, we're strangers, I know you, but we have memories. And that's kind of a hard thing to look at, especially after you have been together for as long as we had. And I'm not saying no names or which relationships, but I got cheated on, and then I ended up cheating, and it was just a vicious cycle because, you know, then I was always thinking, oh, what is she doing? And I'm sure she was always thinking, what is he doing? And, you know, and then you got to start lying, and then you can't keep your lies straight, and everything just goes really sour really fast. But you try to hold on to that person because, not because you love them, but because you got used to them being around. You got used to them being there whenever you got home, or, you know, you being there when they got home, or you know, either way, it was just not a good thing. One thing that I did learn was don't ask questions that you don't want to know the answer to. Trust me, because that'll eat you up so quick. Because if that person tells you the facts about something that you think you want to know, trust me, you don't want to know. You don't want to know. And that was one of my biggest things, was that I would sit there and dig at people and try to get different answers, and not realizing that they were just lying to, you know, try to please me and try to keep me from blowing up, or, you know, whatever. And then especially if drugs and alcohol are part of what you're going through and a part of your relationship. Some people say that there's relationships where there's functioning addicts, and on both sides. I don't know. Honestly, I've never been in one, so I can't speak on that. If there is, I've never really seen it. You know, who's ever seen, you know, something like that? Maybe there is. I don't know. I'm not saying that it's impossible. I'm just saying that if it is, I mean, I couldn't see the end game on that. You know, I couldn't see how it's all going to turn out. I turned into an addict in my last relationship, because I realized how simple it was to use and not get away with it, but just use and thinking that it was going to help me in some type of way, that it was going to get me past what I was going through, the pain that I was holding in, the hurt that I was holding in, trauma from the past that I hadn't worked through, trauma in her past that she hadn't worked through. We were both trying to help each other, but we were in such a dark place that we just kept going back to that dark place. After 10 years of marriage, she finally told me that she cheated on me. And that spiraled me into a whole addiction, alcoholic, bullcrap existence of a life. Thinking that alcohol and drugs were going to numb my pain. Knowing damn well that as soon as I woke up from that stupor, that I was going to have to go back to reality and just have to deal with my problems all over again. It wasn't her fault. It was my fault. I put a lot on her, and we ended up parting ways. I was homeless, but she was somewhere else, and but she would come down and we would spend some time together and try to work things out, and it just wasn't gonna work out because I'm just not the type of person back then that would, just forgive and forget, and I wasn't a good person. I just wasn't a good person. Now that I look back on things, I wish that I would have acted really differently. I wish I would have done, things differently, but I don't like to dwell too much on the past. Not that it bugs me so much, it's just that I just get kind of tired of, thinking, and all you can think now is, what might have been. But the best way I can look at it, and the best way that I can think about it, and the best way I can talk about it, is saying, there's an old country song, and the words always come back to me all the time, and it says, sometimes I thank God for unanswered prayers. That's a big saying that I work with now. Now all the time I thank God for unanswered prayers, because God always blesses you with what you need, not with what you want. Sometimes we think that we want something. Sometimes we think that we know what's best, and we think, oh God, why aren't you answering my prayers? Why aren't you, you don't hear me? Do you exist? Are you even there anymore? He's always around, no matter how far you think that you drift away from God. He's always there. He's everywhere. He's in the, and this could be anybody's higher power, whatever you guys think. Your higher power is always around, no matter what. I was reflecting her anger, her hurt, and her trauma from her childhood. She was reflecting mine. And we were just clashing. We were clashing so bad. But I moved on to be a better person. And it wasn't that I had to get away from anybody or anything like that. It was that I had to be by myself. I had to get locked up again. I had to go through rehab. I had to go through all this stuff just to realize and take the time, meditate and pray that I had to work on myself, and I had to love myself. I had to at least care about myself. So I did, and I'm human too, so there's a lot of times that, I go back and I think about things, and I think about, I should have done this differently, or I should have done that differently, but there's no telling that if I would have done this and that differently, if anything would have changed. I never speak to these people anymore. And we never call, we never text, we never nothing. I have friends that I talk to. I have people that I sponsor. I have a lot of people that I talk to when they're having problems about, they're thinking about going back to using drugs, or they're going back to drinking, or they want to do this crazy or do that crazy. They call me sometimes in the middle of the night. They call me early in the morning, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, 4 o'clock in the morning. They're like, Los, man, I'm thinking about relapsing. I'm thinking about drinking, dude. Like, this is going on. I'm having all these problems with my girl. I'm going through this. I'm going through that. And I sit there and I just try to talk them off that ledge and try to let them know that, it's completely their decision. If they want to go that route, then I can't stop them. I can do everything I possibly can. I can give them all the support I can. I can try to, talk to them about this and that and try to give them the best advice I possibly can and try to let them know that, what's the point of stepping back, instead of going forward after all of this hard work and everything that you've gone through, to just go back and start all over, go to square one. I've been there many times. As old as I am, I've been there many times. And I just, I kind of figure, if I can do it, I'm pretty sure that all these other people that are smarter and stronger willed and, than I am, they can do it, Once you do start realizing, seeing, and working towards loving yourself, and you begin to see yourself for who you really are, and you see that you're not the kid that went through this trauma, you're not the kid that went through the beatings or the molestation or the whatever it was that messed you up, and the drug addiction that followed with the molestation or followed with the beatings or the alcoholism, and you see yourself truly shine, then you'll see that in someone else. You'll see that in the relationships you get into, the friendships that you have. You'll see that those people want to support you. They're not just trying to reflect all the anger that you have and that the problems that you went through. And they're there to help you work through everything. They're not there to hurt you. They're there to help you. It's a very, very beautiful thing. It's a very great thing, and my heart goes out to all the people on the streets, man, because I know the struggle. I've been there. I remember being on the streets, not knowing where I was going to eat or what I was going to eat or if I was going to eat. I was about 140 pounds, just sick. Plus, I'm a diabetic, so that didn't help, Sometimes all we ate was Dunkin' Donuts trash. Sometimes all we ate was QT trash. Sometimes all we ate was stuff that people would drop off, and it's not good for a diabetic, you know what I mean? That's why a lot of people are out there very sick right now, and the blues, man, they're not helping. Meth isn't helping. It's all infused with fentanyl. It's all messing people up. They're getting addicted to fentanyl by using meth, thinking that they're doing this and they're doing that. It's all cut with MDMA and all kinds of other stuff. Trust me, I know, player, because whenever I had my drug test at the jail, they told me, dude, where were you at and what were you doing? Because you have like 5 different drugs in your system. I had no idea. The withdrawals were horrible. I had no idea about fentanyl withdrawals because it wasn't my thing. I never did it. But slowly was getting addicted to it through the methamphetamine use. But yeah, as I've had a couple callers too call in and ask me some questions and ask me, a lot of it, and I, and I understand, like I've been there. a lot of the calls that are coming in are saying, you know, hey, what do I do? Where do I go? Rehabs are the best things that I can possibly think of. I mean, you don't want to go to jail and detox there, trust me, because a detox there is horrible. It's nasty. It's disgusting. They give you Suboxone in there and they do this and that, but it's not a withdrawal that you want to go through. Trust me, I seen it firsthand. I was in the withdrawal unit and the detox unit and all that, and I just seen these people just it was horrible. There was vomit and shit all over the walls, all over the floor. Yeah, it's just trust me, you don't want to go there and do that. The best place I can talk about, say about, and refer to are rehabs. I know there's CBI. I know there used to be Casa Maria. There's ARC. That's where I went, and I'm who I am now. You know, thank God. Shout out to my boy Chris. Shout out to Frank. Shout out to Ray. Shout out to all the BHTs there and the counselors and the therapists. I love you guys. I love you guys, man. Thank you guys. And their food's amazing too. Their food's really good. Like it's great. Showers, beds. They hook you up with clothes. Catherine, she's a very sweet lady. She'll hook you up with clothes. She'll get you looking right, and you know, and you can shave and do whatever you need to do. I know that the Gospel Rescue Mission, I've heard, is very great. Never been there. I'm gonna have to go and check them out just to go and see what's going on over there, because I'm got certified motivational interviewing too recently. If you guys want to check out my TikTok, I got some stories on there too, and I got a couple other things on there. I've said this before too a million times. I don't do this for the views. I don't do this for popularity. I don't do this for likes. I don't do this for followers. I don't do this for any of that. I do this to try to help that one person, just one person, that's going through problems, that's having drug addiction problems, alcoholic problems, that's going through homelessness, going through molestation, going through all this stuff, you know. And like I've told you guys before, I was a victim of that when I was a kid, you know. And no matter how anybody looks at it, boys can go through the same thing. It's rough, and it's really rough for young women, young girls, women, older women, anybody that goes through any kind of crap like that. I know that if you pull through it, and that you pull through it, you're a soldier. You're stronger. You're stronger than a lot of people think. And no matter what people say about you or tell you or anything like that, don't believe any kind of put downs. Don't believe anything like that, because it's a problem within themselves that they got to work on. If they hate you or they hate me, go ahead, hate me all you want. I don't care. You know what I mean? Like that's on you. That's something that you got to work on. That's not something that I got to work on. I'm past that. I love myself, you know, regardless of what I've done. I've forgiven myself, and I forgive everybody that hurt me. I forgive everybody that put me through the things that they put me through. In my eyes, it was God putting me through those trials and tribulations so that I could get to the point where I'm at now to try to help somebody. And that's all I'm trying to do, is try to help that, like I said, one person. If I can just reach one, if I can reach 5, I've more than reached my goals. I've just bombarded myself with goals, reaching at that point. My numbers on TikTok, my Gmail, you guys got my Gmail. You can hit me up anytime. You can call me anytime, any kind of support. You're having problems, whatever, you got a vent, it doesn't matter. People that hate me, that don't like me, that can't stand me, you're more than welcome to give me your comments too. I'm not going to sit there and argue with you. I'm not going to tell you you're wrong. I'm not going to tell you this. I'm not going to tell you that. You want to yell at me, cuss me out, scream, cry, whatever. You know what I mean? Then you do what you got to do, and I'm still going to love you. I'm still going to support you. I've gotten rid of all the hate in my life, out of my heart, out of my mind, out of my soul. And I'm just trying to move forward. And I hope that all of you do the same thing. That's what I was saying. some questions, man. And that's what I was talking about. It's people getting cheated on. They get, they've hit me up and they're like, Los, I got cheated on by my girl. I got cheated on by my dude. He keeps cheating. She keeps cheating. Get out of that relationship, man. If that's what it is and that's what it's going to be and that's what they keep doing and repeating, it's best to walk away. It's best to walk away because something really, really bad can happen. You could really get hurt or you can hurt somebody in your anger. And trust me, man, you don't want to do that because then you end up in jail. Your mama loses a son or a daughter. What's the point of that, man? What's the point of, if they want to do what they're doing and they keep doing it, then you know what I mean? Just let them do what they do, and just walk away. I know it's hard. I know it's sad. I know it's this and it's that. Trust me, I've been through it. I've been through it too many times, and I know that it's hard. I know it's not something just easy to, just get up and walk away. No. It ain't nothing like that. It ain't nothing like that. It takes time. It takes work. It takes strength. It takes a lot of things. But in the end, trust me, it's gonna benefit you to do you. I had another crazy question, man. It said, Los, why did you shave? Because I didn't want to look like an old man. That one's from Sandra. From Sandra Diaz? No. Sandra Rodriguez. Why did you why did you shave? Because I didn't want you guys to know that I was born in the 1700s, all right? Now I want you guys to know how old I really am. Another one is you guys, are you serious right now with these questions, man? Los, do you have a girlfriend? And if you don't, do you want one? No. No, I don't have a girlfriend right now, and I don't want one. I'm just doing myself right now and trying to keep it like that. Still working on myself. I have worked a lot, and I'm very proud of myself. Alex says, Los, I like your chain. Where did you get it from? My chain, my brother left it to me when he passed away. I like it too. Thank you. The cross was given to me by a very good friend of mine. I don't know if you guys can see that. I like the way it shines. I like the stones in it. I'm a sucker for colored stones and regular stones, but yeah, this one with all the stones in it, I dig it. I like it. I love it. But thank you guys. If you guys got any more serious questions, I thank you. I appreciate them. I appreciate the compliments. I appreciate the questions. Keep them coming, you guys. I love you guys. God bless you guys. May God give all my enemies everything they want. Bless them to the fullest, and may they succeed. May God watch over my family. I have a brother that's very sick right now, and it's very hard going through what the family's going through. But I believe God's going to pull us through it. My prayers go out to everybody in the struggle. My prayers go out to everybody that's trying to fight that struggle for recovery. The people on the streets, you guys are soldiers. Don't let anybody say anything. And don't call these people bums, man. You don't know what they went through. That person might have lost their kid. That person might have lost their mother, their brother. They might have lost somebody, and you don't never know what spiraled them into their drug addiction or their alcoholism. They might have had their brother killed right in front of them, man. And some people be like, oh, well, my brother was killed right in front of me and I don't have no problems. Well, okay, well, you know what? That's you. And we're not all the same. We're not all the same. We're not all built the same. You know what I mean? With something that really bugs me might not fuck with you. And something that really fucks with you might not bug me. You know what I mean? Our minds, our hearts, our soul, it's not wired the same, player. So don't be calling these people bums, man. You don't know what they went through to get on the streets. You don't know what happened. I knew lawyers and doctors that were on the streets that they had an addiction and it just spiraled out of control. You know what I mean? They're not bums. They're probably smarter than you. So just be mindful of what you say to people, because they're like bullets, man. Your words are like bullets, player. You can't take them back. I'll think that's about it for right now, you guys. I love you guys. God bless you. King Los. On the next one, I'll hit you guys up. Love you, Tucson. Stay up.